Hey, Bjorn Kunzel, welcome to eXp Chats. Great to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Lee, my friend. How are you today?
We've had some good times recently, haven't we?
We have.
Going to eXpcon in Vegas. What
It's
a bloody
fun.
journey. What a journey.
It's been great. And then Queensland when I was up there recently, and we went out for lunch and caught up, so that was great.
Had a nice lunch. And what's happening with you, Bjorn? I'm glad to have you here because you're one of the first agents, or the first agent in Australia. One of the first.
First icon agent, yep. And
First icon agent?
number 13 agent in Australia. Yep.
Number 13, first icon agent. Tell us your story, like your backstory. Where did you come from before this, and why was eXp the option for you that made sense?
Yeah, so I was in the building industry when I was younger. My father was a builder and I was working in the building industry and I had a motorcycle accident, fractured my skull, broke my back, couldn't do physical labor anymore. So I got into real estate. And actually with a gentleman that I used to go to high school with. I was chucking a sickie one day and he seen me at the shops. He said, look, if you got a suit, come do real estate with me. So the next day I was in the car doing open inspections with him, and that was on a Saturday. And on the Monday, I was a real estate agent. I was there for a couple of years, and then I realized that the ethics and morals and the integrity of that particular agent weren't in line with my own morals and ethics. There were certain shady characters coming to the office late at night. So I got out of there and I went to work at Weeks and Macklin with Max Demerick, who's an absolute legend, still a friend to this day. Not a bad word to say about the guy. He's an absolute great bloke. And I was with Weeks and Macklin for 9 years and I was on an 80% commission split, right? So it was a pretty good deal.
Wow.
I didn't have to worry about any unpaid advertising, didn't have to worry about any unpaid marketing. Nothing would fall back on myself. Didn't have to pay any franchise fees, didn't have to pay any admin fees, didn't have to pay any office or desk fees. So it was a really, really hot deal. And then one day eXp fell in my lap. In about a total of 5 seconds, I said, this is an absolute no-brainer, and here I am today.
Okay. So what, see, some people make decisions like that and some people take their time. I remember when I came across it, I said, geez, it sounds too good to be true. And I spent a while researching it and calling people and asking questions. And then I realized that, yes, it is too good to be true. And so made that decision to join. But what was it in particular that, maybe the top 3 things that you said, wow, that's a game changer, I'm joining?
Well, I always thought I'd like to have my own business one day, but that associated with a lot of headaches. And I thought, well, I can own my own franchise, okay, but that's going to associate with headaches as well. And then I'm not going to be my own business. Or I could have Bjorn Kunzel Real Estate. And then I thought about it. I thought, I'm on an 80% commission split. I'm on a good deal. I'm happy where I am. I don't have to worry about rent or office or expenses or costs or anything like that. So it's a good deal. So I'm comfortable, right? When I was at Weeks Macklin. Then somebody said to me, look, do you want an opportunity to earn 100% commission? And I thought it was going to be about real estate speaking and coaching. I didn't know anything about another model. I pulled over on the side of the car, a Zoom meeting, and I heard this model. And straight away, after hearing about the opportunities of the model, I thought to myself, in my opinion, nobody's going to want to work for the franchise when they're a good established agent anymore with a model like this out there. So if I did start a franchise in 5 years' time, what's that going to look like? I don't think it's going to be pretty. And the only people I'll probably be getting are newbies where I've got to train them up, and then they're probably going to leave me for a system like this anyway.
Yeah, true.
If I do Bjorn Kunzel Real Estate, which I can do at eXp, but if I did Bjorn Kunzel Real Estate, I've got to do all my trust accounting and all my, administrative support. And who's going to want to come and work for Bjorn Kunzel Real Estate one day as well when a model like this is out here? So I thought this is the future of where real estate's heading. 100% commission model, only $27,640 a year is all I pay in. I can own an own rent roll without having to manage it and retain 100% ownership of the asset.
Yeah.
I can be rewarded with company shares up to $21,000 a year. And I can also grow a team and earn residual income, of which now I've got a team of 65 agents, which is bringing me in about 120 grand residual a year. So I looked at this model when I was sitting in the car and I thought, let's look at, not here and now because the model's just new, but let's look at where it's going to be in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. And my vision was, for the first couple of years, it's going to be rough going. It's going to be hard. 5 years' time, I think everybody's going to know about this model. And we're 3 years in now, and everybody does know about the model, especially in South Australia. And we're getting new agents joining every week.
Yeah.
And I thought about it, and I thought, if I want to be able to do my own thing and be my own boss without any of the headaches, this is the model that's going to do it for me. And at the end of the day, I'm basically in the model for just over $6 grand a year. It's a no-brainer. I was giving away, even on an 80% commission split, when I was doing $500,000, you still work that out, even at 20%, that's 100 grand that you're giving away. And now I'm only giving away about 6 grand when I get my 21K in shares back each year.
Because you've iconed every year since you joined?
Yeah, every year. It's not that difficult to icon. It's You've got a cap $100,000, which is what the eXp capper is. You do 100K. You get 75% for that, which is 75 grand. And then after that, you're on 100%. So, you know, it's not difficult to do your 100K. And then if you do 20 sales post capping, then you become an icon agent. You can charge whatever commissions you want. And that's when you get your $21,000 worth of shares, 15 grand initially. And then you host 6 training sessions, as you know, with other agents, icon training sessions to help better other agents. And they give you basically $1,000 per training session that you host. Another 6 grand, that's your 21K in shares out of your 27,640 buy-in. It's just an absolute no-brainer if you're a true entrepreneurial minded agent and if you believe that you're the brand.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, well said. Yeah.
Yep.
And I think that's where it's a lot of people are, are hesitant to move towards it because you're not in that comfort zone of working under someone. And hey, if you want that, then maybe the franchise model or boutique agency down the road is good for you. But keeping in mind that you're giving away half your comms and you're not building anything longer term either. Because at the end of the day, if you walk away from real estate in 10 years, Bjorn Kunzel can walk away today and you will still earn and probably grow that revenue share from your team.
Well, let's say I did stop selling today, Lee, after 3 years, three years, and it's been 3 years and 4 months. Okay.
Yeah.
So after 3 years and 4 months, I've now got a residual income of about $120,000 a year. And I don't mind sharing the numbers here, not to brag or not to, anything like that, but just to say, like, this is the facts. Okay. Because a lot of people talk rubbish and they don't give their numbers, right? So I'm very transparent about my numbers. It's about 120 grand a year residual income from the 65, actually there's 66 agents in the team now, right? Just from mentoring. So if I don't do any real estate from here on, I've got that money coming in. Plus there's about $135,000 in eXpI shares sitting in my share account. So I could basically semi-retire right now after 3.5 years in the eXp model and still have that 120 grand consistently coming in year on year. And if I die, that can be willed to my wife and my kids. So my kids are set up for life. So it's just a no-brainer. If you're an entrepreneur, it's an absolute no-brainer.
Yeah, well said. I mean, you can't get that anywhere else out there in Australia, probably in the world, where you can actually go, I'm retiring, see you later. Like you may get a handshake from the principal and that's about it,
Pretty much.
With eXp, it's a long term, like everyone's short term, but I say this to everyone. I say, look, think long term. Don't look at this short term. And that's what your life is like. Why are you looking at this short term? What would you say to someone out there, like an agent that's going, yeah, Bjorn, I like the idea, but I think I just need some more time with the agency I'm with for the training and support. They don't have that confidence to go out there on their own.
I think if they've got a good mentor, like for example, if somebody's got yourself as a mentor, Lee, so they're joining you and your team, right? They're going to be fine. Look, you're the number 1 international agent at eXp for total gross commission from last year, right? And you're in the top 50 every year for the international agents. You're number 1 agent in eXp Australia, right? So you know how to earn money at eXp. Yeah. So if somebody joins in with the right mentorship, so for example, with somebody like yourself that knows what they're doing, forget about it. Just cut the ties with your old company as soon as you possibly can, because with what you've got to share with somebody, you'll be able to get them up to speed very, very fast. I mean, I've taken guys from 3 sales one year, 3 sales the next year, and then come to us and then 35 sales in the first year. And now they're doing 60 sales a year.
Yeah, wow.
So it's about the mentorship. So for those that are watching that don't understand, when you do come into eXp, you do choose a mentor. And it's important who you choose as a mentor, because if you choose a mentor who's just a brand new eXp agent, they might not be able to give you as much as what somebody like yourself can give, for example.
Yeah.
But I think you've just got to rip the band. I mean, I was on 80% commission split, Lee. Money wasn't an issue. Money wasn't a problem. Things were going great. I just saw the future. I saw the opportunity. I said, I want to get into this thing as fast as I possibly can. And here I am 3 years, 4 months later with a team of 66 agents. You and I have been to Las Vegas, at eXpcon in front of 6,000 agents speaking. We've spoken together in front of 6,000 agents on an international stage. There's 24 countries with 89,000 agents. When I joined as agent 13, there were only 14,000 agents in 4 countries. So this thing isn't a fluke. It's not a whiff. It's not a purple bricks. It's not a Go Gecko. It's not the next startup that's here today to crash tomorrow. There's no debt at eXp. So once I looked into it from a logical point of view, I said, the model's really good. It sounds really great, but let's look at it logically. Where's the money coming from? Where's the incomings and outgoings? How is this company not going to go bankrupt? Well, they don't own any office space. They don't own have any real estate overheads they need to pay for. They don't have to pay for rent. They don't have to pay for electricity. They don't have to pay for the coffee machine. They don't have to pay for Cheryl at the front desk. They don't have to pay for the heaters, the air conditioners. They don't have to pay for any of that stuff. we're a company with $0 debt that's extremely nimble, and every EXP agent can enter the company, and it's going to cost them only $220 a month for about $1,500 worth of subscriptions, because there's power in numbers. So when I looked at it logically, I couldn't break it apart. I tried, but I just couldn't break it apart. Because it does seem too good to be true. But I'm living proof that it works. You're living proof that it works, and the other 200 odd agents in Australia at the moment are living proof that it actually works. Now, Absolutely. It's like everything. Some agents will not succeed no matter where they go, right? They just won't succeed. They're just not cut out to be real estate agents, right? But if you're a real estate agent where you've won business that's had nothing to do with your boss, you've won business that's had nothing to do with your brand, you've had business that's had nothing to do with a lead from the office. If you're an agent that's been at an open inspection in the past and somebody's come to you and you've got into their door and sold their house, you are the brand. Yes. If you know how to list and sell property, you are absolutely crazy to not at least look at this opportunity. And you know what? You might look at it and go, it's not for me. Totally cool. No worries at all. But I find it very, very hard to believe that any truly entrepreneurial-minded real estate agent that is successful would look at this model and go, nah, it's not for me. Because
makes sense. It
took me 5 seconds, mate. 5 seconds. That's all. 5 seconds after getting on that Zoom, I knew that this was the future of real estate, especially when I knew the company has $0 debt. Because there's no risk. There's no risk there for the company. It's not like if we all stop selling real estate, the company goes bankrupt because they've got to come up with, $5 million a month to pay the rent.
Yes, exactly.
There is no rent. No.
Yeah, it's a brilliant model. And I was just reflecting on that the other day. I think when I joined, there was 21,000 agents, and now 89,000 agents 3 years on. Like, just phenomenal. Crazy. And when someone sort of says to me, "Oh, look, I just want that, that comfort of that office environment or something," I say, "You know what? You'll have a mentorship. You'll have me or whoever. Plus, you'll have Bjorn. You'll have Chris. You'll have all these other agents in Australia. Then you'll have Ricky Carruth and Juan and all these other guys in America. Like, the resources that you can tap into is phenomenal." And that was the one thing that I really joined for. I thought, the opportunities to connect, like the opportunities to go to Vegas with you, but all the people then we met there as well. I wouldn't get that anywhere else, and I can still have the freedom of running my own business, doing my own thing day to day, having a lifestyle like you and I talk about the lifestyle often, is it worth earning $1 million or worth earning $500,000 and having a really good life, or $1 million and not really having much life. So I think that's what this model can give you. You can do both.
Well, I've transacted 78 properties by myself with the admin support that eXp provides. Now, that's a lot of work. People go, how do you do it? Mate, it's not hard. I have a couple of beers at night and I go and do my admin when the kids go to bed at 9 o'clock. I come in my office for a couple of hours and I smash out 8 hours worth of admin in 2 hours, having a couple of beers with one screen watching Netflix and the other screen having my work up on it, right?
Well, that's how you do it, huh?
It's very efficient. I used to get so distracted in the office, Lee, that I used to be standing around the photocopier or joking with this staff, or I'd get maybe 1 hour's worth of work done every 4 hour period, It just wasn't an environment that suited me, but I understand there are some agents out there that do need an office environment, or it is where they're at their careers, and that's fine. But I honestly think if you're a real estate, like I've got 16 years experience. How long have you been in the game?
About 8.
8 years. I honestly think the first year is a bit of a question mark and it's hard going in real estate. The second year is a bit of a question mark, hard going in real estate. If you can survive 2 years in real estate, the third year is probably where you're going to start reaping rewards, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think if you're a real estate agent that's been in real estate for more than 5 years and you're actually transacting at least 20 to 30 houses a year, and you see a model like this, I honestly 100% believe that this model will work for you. Now, if you're a brand new agent that's just finished their RLA and you just finished their course and you want to go into real estate straight away, if you go into real estate straight away and they join you with your mentorship, yes, I think I can guarantee they'll be successful. If they just go and join eXp willy-nilly under nobody or somebody who doesn't know how to transact real estate or doesn't have the 8 years experience or the at least 5 years of experience, they might struggle a little bit, right? But you know all the secrets. I know all the secrets. And the thing with eXp is your secrets are now not my secrets, but your secrets are now being shared with me, and my secrets have now been shared with you because it's a collaboration we have as a company. Every other agency's got a secret sauce. This agent's got their secret sauce and that agent's got theirs, and nobody shares. All right. This is like a massive pot where everyone's adding their secret sauce to it, and there's a big, massive, abundant pot for anybody to come in and dip in to get whatever they need at any time. I know I use some silly analogies, but you know what I mean? There's no secret sauce here, Lee. It's everything's transparent. And my 16 years experience is laid on the table for everybody that's in eXp to be able to replicate and copy. And so is other people's like yours. you shared with me a brilliant idea the other night, and I just did a training session with the team in SA, and I talked about your idea, and they were like, that's fantastic. And I'm like, well, Lee's going to do an icon training session on that. So when he does it, let's make sure we all rock up and maximize from that. So it's just the sharing, Lee. Like, we're not in the same upline, downline, same.
And the collaboration, and I felt that. I mean, I feel that here in Australia, but even when I was overseas, how that's carried out through the, the 89,000 agents internationally, I was just like blown away by, number one, the culture that we have, the collaboration, the friendliness. It's not like it's real estate, it's something different.
Yeah.
It's like a big family.
When there's abundance, because of the model, like we don't have to give 50% to a boss, which makes us have animosity towards the boss. And the boss is paying for all these resources, this office and everything for the staff. So the boss has animosity towards the staff because he's like, well, you're not helping me keep the doors open. So there's like an animosity between a boss in a traditional agency and an agent and a boss in a traditional agency. And it's just the system, because the bricks and mortar system, you don't need it in real estate. Where do we see our clients? At a house. I go see a seller at a house. I don't invite them into my office to talk about their house and we bring it up on the internet and we appraise it. I go to their house.
Yeah. Same with buyers,
And a buyer, we do digital contracts. I meet them at the house. We go through the house. I do digital contracts with them. There's no need to go to a real estate office now in 2023. And COVID really changed and transformed the way people do business and transact, which gave trust behind cloud-based models. So COVID was actually a good thing for our real estate business. It was a bad, terrible thing. I'm not saying COVID was good, so don't blur my words. COVID was terrible, but for the real estate industry in itself, it brought along a lot of revolution, which is such as eXp.
Well, the tech, came into force. It was already there.
So the way I looked at it was, okay, well, this is the company that's going to be the future. I honestly think that any agent with 5 years experience or more, once we hit to the point where we've got 1,000 agents, 2,000 agents, I think honestly, it's going to come a point where every entrepreneurial agent is going to want to be an eXp agent. Now, the benefit of eXp, if you have a look at your screen, it says MPG, powered by eXp Australia. You look at my screen, it says eXp Realty. There's options, right? If tomorrow I want to start running as Bjorn Kunzel Real Estate, because let's just say there's too many eXp agents now, so I want to run as Bjorn Kunzel Real Estate, I can just switch over like that, And all we've got to do is pay for my real estate.com subscription, and I can run like MPG like you do. If you bring an agent in, they can run as eXp if they want it, or they can run as MPG, or they can run as their own individual brand. So there's branding options. And the one thing, a lot of companies, a lot of franchise agents are locked in because they have to, they might be given a mobile number by the company, and the company owns their database. And we know this is a big industry problem. I honestly think that with eXp, because we all own our own intellectual data, that is one of the number one key fundamentals that makes this an absolutely risk-free proposition. Because if an agent wants to come into eXp and give it a crack, and it doesn't work after 6 months or 2 years or 3 years or whatever, which I'd very much doubt, but if it doesn't, they can walk away and they keep all of their data.
They take all their data,
Now, if I'm a Ray White agent or a Harcourt's agent or a LJ Hooker agent or a Harris agent or a blah, blah, blah real estate agent, 99% of the time, that data in the contract that I've employment contract that I've signed with that company or that franchise, that data belongs to that company.
Yeah.
And I honestly think there's a reason why a lot of the agents aren't making the jump, and it's because their data is owned by the company they work for and they don't want to start again fresh. Because I can guarantee you, if the law changed tomorrow that said, court ruling, Australia-wide, the real estate agent owns the database. Doesn't matter about any employment contracts. The real estate agent leaves, the real estate agent takes their database. I would guarantee you we would have thousands of agents leave their franchises tomorrow and join eXp the next day.
Yeah.
I honestly guarantee it.
And it's another really good point of why wait, I'm going to wait another year just to get some more experience. And I do it now, like start your own database now and keep all that. Because you'll have the same tools and resources, if not more in abundance with eXp than you would elsewhere, and get that database building quick. Mate, lovely to chat. What's the final word of wisdom from Bjorn Kunzel?
If you want to be a truly successful real estate agent, you need to understand that truly successful people don't work for other people, they work for themselves. So start putting yourself first and start working on your business, your way for you, and come join us at eXp.
Nice, mate. Thanks, brother.
Thanks, mate. Ciao, ciao.
Yes.